I don't get this football club. There's no ambition. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the community and channel if you're new. Hope everyone's had a good Wednesday evening. Hope everyone's looking forward to the end of this week, and hope everyone's looking forward to a brand new weekend in February 2023 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner if you're new. Then to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, remember to put the notification bell on all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 this year on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite content, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, more Fortnite, Disney Dreamlight Valley, FIFA 23 Career Mode, the new Formula 1 game, much more brand new stuff planned for 2023. So please subscribe to United Red Devils 20 if you're new on YouTube, and welcome to the channel and welcome to the community. And welcome to your Premier League match reaction this evening to Manchester United's dramatic 2-2 draw at home to Leeds United Football Club this evening at Old Trafford Football Stadium on this Wednesday, the 8th of February 2023 this year. 8 p.m. home evening kickoff at Old Trafford, 2-2 full-time score. It's just another huge opportunity for Manchester United yet again to cling on to any hope of being in a Premier League title and to basically clinching top 4 tonight, which in my opinion would have been secured, and the UEFA Champions League football would have been back at Old Trafford next season. But simply yet again, this football club does not surprise me on all levels that there is no ambition at this football club. You can beat Crystal Palace at home, but there is simply no excuses again tonight for poor, lacklustre home performance against a team who have just sacked their manager and basically parked the bus in the second half. Man United get the 2 goals back, but Man United being 2-0 down at home in the first place is a complete and utter disgrace. There's no excuses from that performance tonight, and it simply says that team, that squad, those players simply cannot be trusted to play a full 90-minute match for you. And yet again, you're having to rely on the bench to get you basically out of trouble. And a point at home is simply not good enough. For me, that is nothing more than pure failure. We should be beating teams like Leeds at home. And I'm not being funny. Like, if they sacked their manager, I knew it's a new interim manager bounce, but Leeds have had more bounce on the trampoline with the last few managers they've just sacked. And unfortunately, Man United have failed to pinpoint where the weaknesses in that Leeds team. And they've let Leeds basically come to Old Trafford, completely outplay them, get 2 goals to be 2-0 up, and they're sitting comfortable on 3 points. And Jadon Sancho, yet again, has had to come to the rescue to get Manchester United out of pure hot water again. There is simply no excuses. That performance alone in 90 minutes is simply not good enough. And if you can call that a Manchester United performance as a whole was great, I'm sorry. The comeback was on. You could have gone on and won the game with the last 25 minutes to go. But simply that team, those players, that squad, and Eriksen as manager simply have no squad depth. We've got no other players to replace the current crop of crap we've got. And we've got no rotational options off the bench. The only decent options you have off the bench was Sancho, and that was basically it. The only attacking option we've got on that bench is Sancho. I don't know what Ten Hag is meant to do. He can't work miracles. He isn't Sooty, and he isn't bloody Merlin. I'm sorry. You should have beat Leeds tonight. There's no excuses from that performance. You had a huge opportunity to go joint level on points of City in second place in the Premier League table. 5 points off Arsenal, and you've basically bottled it again. And I'm sorry, the lack of Casemiro has basically cost us. No Eriksen, no Donny van der Beek, no Martial. We've basically got no squad left. And I don't understand what has happened to some of those players' performances tonight. They went from bang average to basically bottle jobs yet again. You can beat Palace at home, but can't beat Leeds. You started the game poorly in the first minute. I mean, fancy conceding 28 seconds into the game. Basically, Man United not pinpointing where Leeds' biggest threat was up front. And basically, Man United didn't secure the back 4. The midfield lost the midfield battle yet again. And as for that useless attack, the best player at the moment we've got in that attack is Marcus Rashford. Yet again, has scored again, 20th goal of the season. And you've then had to rely on Sancho to rescue this great club again. And a lot of fingers have been pointed at Jadon Sancho, saying he's not good enough. He ain't worth the money we paid for him. He's not ready a Manchester United player, and he's not ready suited to Erik Ten Hag's style of play. But we've had to rely on the bench. Basically, that full team tonight, that starting 11, I looked at it as a whole, and as soon as you're playing Fred at CDM, I knew there was trouble. I knew without Casemiro and I knew without Eriksen, there's no midfield battle being won in the next few games because we've basically lost half our team this season. we've basically lost half our team to injuries and suspension, and Ten Hag's wondering why he ain't got no squad depth. Well, I can pinpoint you to it, Eric, that you didn't get backed in this January transfer window. I'm sorry. Man United basically have ripped off another season, let another season go by the wind, and basically failed yet again. Another manager that's got potential to take this club back to the top. That club ain't getting back to the top this season. I just can't see the hype. I can't see the optimism. And really, I can't see the buzz factor. That team is on its knees. The fatigue is showing. The injuries are mounting up. And without Casemiro, we've got no midfield. We've got no attack. And as for that defence, basically sums up how shit we are as a recruitment at this football club. We've got no backup to all these squad depth players we haven't got. We've got no backup. And the problem is, United had a huge opportunity to go and spend some big money so they can sell the club in the summer, the Glazers to piss off back to America, sell the club, let the fans and the supporters have their football club back. But unfortunately, not enough pressure is being put on these owners. Not enough pressure is mounting to get them out of this football club. And this process of getting the club to be sold is taking the fucking piss. I mean, the Glazers want $6 billion. No wonder potential new owners are running scared, because they can't value Man United at that, because they've been shit the last 6 years. And I'm sorry, again tonight, we're papering over the cracks again. We've got no squad. We've got no squad depth. We've basically got no team. And people are wondering why we've lost so many injuries. Well, it's down to that board again. It's down to those pure incompetent owners on the leash yet again. They're being led like a dog and basically been let off the leash to run riot around the boardroom and basically laugh at the Man United fans and supporters and call them hysterical and call them clueless and call them naive. Well, I'm sorry. We sit there and watch this team week in, week out, don't we? And to not beat Leeds, who are in a relegation battle, their new manager isn't in yet. They don't know that they're going to close in on one. They've got an interim in, and you're telling me you can't turn up and beat them. I mean, they've come to Old Trafford and basically absolutely outplayed us tonight. Man United were not at the go from the minute one. I mean, sorry, but you're conceding after 28 seconds. The whole game plan basically went out the window because of that goal. The defensive ability tonight was poor as well. We're just letting these Leeds players run at our goal and put the ball in the net. And no wonder we've got no good players in this team. What players can we call decent in this team? The only decent player we've got is Marcus Rashford. He's getting us out of trouble. He's getting the goals we need, and he's our top goal scorer. I don't see this team scoring from other points of the game. I can't see where the other goals are coming from, because you've also added Anthony onto that injured list. I mean, another player who is yet again injury prone. The amount of injuries Anthony's had since he's come from Ajax is absolutely unbelievable. He was fit as hell against Palace, and all of a sudden, he's pulled up injured again. I mean, what is going on in the training? What is going on with this medical team? I'm sorry. You beat Leeds tonight. Your joint level with Man City, who have basically cheated the league for the last 8 to 9 years by breaking financial fair play and getting rightfully done by the Premier League and absolutely deserve to be done for breaking the rules, financial fair play. They only break 101 rules. But you could have gone level with them tonight, put the momentum and pressure on the game for Saturday, and then Sunday, we've then got to go away to Leeds again and try go to Ellen Road and get the points. Well, I'm sorry. Playing like that tonight, we're not beating Leeds on Sunday. I'm sorry. That team's tired. The team's knackered. The team's on the floor. And the FA, giving Casemiro a red card in that last game against Palace, was an absolute fucking disgrace. Giving Casemiro a red card, which wasn't clearly a red card. I'm sorry. We should have appealed that decision. The FA and VAR this season in the Premier League have been nothing more than a complete and utter write-off. It's been a disgrace since VAR entered Premier League football. The decision-making is horrendous. Not from referee level, not from just linesman level, but VAR as a whole. The referees in English football are absolutely fucking clueless. They are too afraid to make big decisions easier for the bigger team. They always favour the little minnow teams who basically get favours by referee. I wasn't surprised that the managers are paying these referees off to give decisions towards the smaller teams, so these smaller teams can get the results that they actually want. Well, I'm sorry tonight, United have messed up big time. There is no positive except for the comeback. That is all the positives I'm getting, because we simply didn't start the game well. We bottled the first half, and for the second half, to concede within 3 minutes through a Varane own goal to make it 2-0 to Leeds. I mean, What's the back four doing? I basically told you Diego Dalot, Luke Shaw at left back and right back aren't good enough. They're never going to be good enough. And there's too many fans and supporters out there that give them so much praise, so much hype. But I'm sorry, they're absolutely shocking as left backs and right backs. We've got no left back. We've got no right back. The players we got are shocking. And some of those players are getting new contracts in a few weeks. Fred's been getting a new contract. Dalot's getting one. Luke Shaw's getting one. De Gea's getting one. Well, I'm sorry. Those four alone aren't good enough. They are never going to be good enough. The time is up. We need to be brutal in this industry of football. We're trying to get back to the top. You might as well just say to Ten Hag, oh, we're not going to back you in the summer, Eric. There ain't going to be no money to spend because we're using excuses yet again to get away with our incompetence and yet another positive transfer window, which was shit. We're basically going to get you options G and H again in the summer. We're not going to get you the players you want. And basically, the team's going to fail again next season. You'll be out the door. You'll be sacked. And an interim will be brought in until a new manager is going to be found. We are going round in fucking circles again. We are going round in pure incompetence of owners that don't give one fuck about this club. They don't give a shit about the fans. They don't give a shit about the supporters. That team is done. For me, that squad is done for the rest of the season. There is no way Erik ten Hag is getting that squad through till May. Not with the fixtures we have got. We've got Barcelona twice, Leeds away, Leicester at home, and then the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. I'm sorry, playing like that, Newcastle are going to be rubbing their hands together. And do you know what? They will fancy their chances of beating Man United in the final. They will come to Wembley and they will outplay United because Eddie Howe actually gets recruitment. He actually gets backed and he actually signs players in a transfer window when there's an option to get the player in he needs. At Man United, it is balance the books. Don't spend this. Don't spend that. Underline another manager, throw him to the wolves and basically try and improve the squad you've got. Well, I'm sorry yet again, you've messed up Man United. And if we're sat here in May and there's no Champions League football and we haven't won a trophy, don't come crying to me because of your incompetence yet again has cost Erik ten Hag what could be a successful season in season one. We have overachieved. We are 3 points clear of Leeds, Newcastle now. We're 3 points clear of Newcastle. 14 clear of Liverpool, 13 clear of Chelsea. That is good. But tonight, United have messed up big time. You could have beat Leeds tonight. There was a huge opportunity to outplay a team that, like I said, are fighting relegation, are nearly the bottom of the league. They've sacked their manager. Jesse Marsch was sacked after I did the preview, which basically was coming anyway. And basically, Man United have messed up in front of 75,000 fans. And no wonder the fans are criticising the way this club is run. Because without the best players in our team, there is no way Ten Hag's getting his squad back to the best. I'm sorry, that getting back to the best is going to take another 6 to 7 years. I don't think fans or supporters of this club are going to stand by and watch this incompetence in the summer. Because if the Glazers are still here and they haven't sold the football club, what hope have we actually got? That's what I would like to pinpoint. Where's the hope? Where is the optimism? Because I don't see no hope. I don't see no optimism. And I'm really being blank now. That team cannot go till May. The fatigue is increasing. The injuries are mounting up. And the suspensions, losing Casemiro against Palace was doomsday. Basically, disaster. Disaster had struck. Basically, Man United have lost their anchor in the midfield and basically cannot cope without him because you're basically relying on shitty Fred. And I'm sorry tonight, yet again, where's the midfield? Where's the attack? And where is that meant to be secure back for? We've got no good positions in that team. That team alone are crying out for recruitment. They are crying out for options. And when you haven't got the options, I think Ten Hag's basically sat there trying to write down on his notebook, what the fuck is he meant to do? What is Ten Hag meant to do with this squad? What is he meant to do with the fatigue? What is he meant to do with the injuries? He can't do anything. He can't keep speeding things up. This process for me has gone on long enough this season, and I've still seen the same old papering over the cracks, not by the manager, but by the people above him. That board and owners have basically thrown away a successful season. They've basically said, we are going to drop our standards. We don't give a shit anymore. We're selling the club and we're not going to give Eric any money. Well, remember when Richard Arnold said the money was there to spend for the manager, for the players he wants? That didn't happen in January. Gakpo was available. João Felix was available. Marcus Thuram was available. basically Man United have messed up this season. They have basically down tools, turned the taps off at the top of Old Trafford, and the club and the owners are still rinsing this football club dry. And I don't think they're going to go in the summer. I just think, again, tonight, if Man United is serious about any ambition about getting back to the top, or they've got any hype of trying to win the league, you have to be beating teams like Leeds. And yet again, this is points at home dropped to a team you should be beating on paper. It's 11 men against 11 men on a football pitch. But Leeds have come out and outplayed Manchester United. That should not be happening. On a weekly basis, Leeds should have no right coming to Old Trafford and outplaying us. That should not be happening. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new. You're on United Red Devils 20. Remember to hit the like button on this video and share the video and try and get to 500 subscribers before the end of February 2023. And please subscribe. I just think the standards this season, there's been so much improvement. There's been so much home improvement at Old Trafford. The away record is decent. But when you're dropping points at home to Leeds, do you basically see why this is going to go wrong? Can you see why I think Eriksen has been fed to the wolves? Because he's basically not got the squad he wants. He's not got the players he needs. He's not got the recruitment. And he's basically slammed the recruitment anyway, because he deep down knows the recruitment at this club simply isn't good enough anyway. And when he's having to rely on the bench, that basically says a lot about that first team squad. If you haven't got Casemiro and you haven't got Eriksen and you haven't got Donny van der Beek, I don't know what Man United are meant to do. Because even Martial, I'm not being funny, it's time to ship him on in the summer. There's so many Man United fans who are so up Anthony Martial's ass. It is unbelievable. He's injury prone. He ain't fucking good enough and can't score goals. And he's never in the team when we need him. Tonight, that would have been beneficial to have a player like Martial in the box to get a late winner. We don't have Martial. Basically, what the plan has been all season now for United is to rely on the BFG's friend in the Iron Giant in Weghorst. That has basically been the plan to get by yet again, to get Man United out of trouble. Well, I'm sorry, Weghorst is nothing more than a pathetic stopgap signing that we should have gone nowhere fucking near. Weghorst has scored 1 goal in 6 games. And apparently, that's the answer to our goal-scoring problems. Well, he didn't score against Arsenal, didn't score against Nottingham Forest at home, didn't score against Reading at home, didn't score against Leeds at home, and the way to Arsenal did basically fuck all. And people are wondering why managers of the past have been sacked. Well, it's not the manager, it's the board, it's the owners. They have basically written off this season and expected this squad to get Ten Hag till the end of May to win trophies. Basing on that performance tonight alone, I don't see trophies. I don't see success. I don't see silverware. I basically do not see where this football club is trying to go. I don't see the ambition. I don't see the hype. I don't see the praise. And I'm not being funny. There are so many fans out there that praise after this team and then slate them the week after. The players that are not good enough deserve the slating they get. They deserve the criticism for their performance. But there's so many fans who keep praising their performances when they've been shit. Well, I'm sorry. If they're shit, you've got to stick to your true, valid opinion. You've got to stick to what you know and what you know logically about the club. If you've got shit players, you can't just keep letting them get away with excuses. You've got to keep going in on them to try and improve their own game. But some of these players can't improve their game because when you're relying on Fred, you basically know there's no midfield. When you're relying on Delo and Luke Shaw, their left back and right back position, that is shit. Ten Hag, that's meant to be the options for left back and right back all season. And basically, all we've got is Wan-Bissaka and Malacia. And Malacia didn't make much of a difference. Yet again, I wouldn't have started him on the bench. I would have started him. As soon as he came on, no impact. Literally no fucking impact. And Ten Hag might be there praising the players of the comeback for being 2-0 down. But the way they started the game was not in Ten Hag's instructions. The game was there to be won. And the United players basically ignored his instructions. I want of this the same players doing their same old nasty little tricks again, being the snakes in the grass, weaving away through the grass, and they're going to slam down this manager. And they'll do it to Ten Hag. They will. I know these players too well. They did it to Ragnick. They did it to Solskjaer. And now they're doing it to Erik Ten Hag. And I'm sorry. This needs calling out. If you're rewarding players like De Gea, Fred, Luke Shaw, new contracts, what is the point of basically his club going anywhere? They don't deserve new contracts. These players have not been good enough since they've been at this club. They've not been good enough, and you're then giving them new contracts. For what? Make me ask you why. Because I don't get it. I don't see where this plan is of getting back to the top. The owners haven't published it. The board haven't published it. I don't see no tactics. I don't see no improvement. I don't see any creativity currently in that United team. And our best player tonight is basically our new signing in Sabitzer. And that's why he's got my man of the match. He basically controlled the midfield, basically was our best player throughout the whole 90 minutes, and basically did a job when we needed him, and basically actually showed ambition on the pitch more than some of those players did in that 90-minute ball crap that I had to witness on highlights. And I'm sorry, that says a lot about Sabitzer. He doesn't like losing. He wants to win. That's a fucking leader we needed in that midfield. But unfortunately, you've then lost Eriksen and you've lost Casemiro, who are two well-organised leaders with Sabitzer and Fernandes. But when they've got all this crap around them, the only decent players they've got around them now is basically Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Rashford, Sancho and Antony. That is all we've got. Because Garnacho, I can't understand what has happened to his game. Basically made no difference to that match. Was dragged off yet again at half-time. I just don't think his heart's at Manchester United anymore. And I'm wondering deep down if Garnacho is pissed off for not getting a new contract for the money he deserves. Because if that's Man United basically pinpointing money, pinching again and basically doing things by the old pathetic book again, you might as well liquidate the football club. Because if they're not willing to give Garnacho a new contract, that is pure incompetence. You're going to let a world-class player walk out the door for nothing, just like you did with Paul Pogba once. And you know what? I would bring back Paul Pogba. If Juventus terminated his contract, I would bring him back because the midfield is wank. It's absolutely shit. As for Weghorst, can we please just terminate his loan deal? What the fuck are we doing playing long ball football to Weghorst to bring it down in front of the defensive back four from the opposition team? What the fuck is the plan? Because if we're doing that every game, where's the hope? Where's the hype? Where's the goals going to come from? We don't have a goal-scoring machine. The only player that's scoring goals is Rashford. And yet again, had to cut a goal tonight to basically get the team back in it. But as soon as we equalise and make it 2-2, the players down tool again, they run out of energy and don't go for the third goal. Basically, Fred shooting outside the box again, Fernandes shooting outside the box again. Basically, selfish play from some of these players that have got too bigger egos to be in a Manchester United team. And I'm sorry, egos like that I don't like. I do not like selfish players who are trying to go for their own fucking glory. Some of those players need to learn this is a team fucking sport. And Ten Hag needs to tell some of these players, it's not just all about you. This is about the whole team, the whole squad, the whole group of players. That needs to be the fucking line in this club. Stop going for your own glory that you want to build up your own individual ego. Because if you're going to build up your own ego and fuck the rest of us, get out the football club. Because that tonight showed those players played selfishly for their own egos to try and improve their overall ability of their own performance. There was no performance tonight. Those players down-tooled. Those players gave up. As soon as they went 1-0 down and then 2-0 down, they fucking gave up. But something all of a sudden spark them into action. And I don't know if basically Erik ten Hag borrowed the rocket off NASA to basically shove right up their ass to give them the absolute kicking they absolutely need, because that tonight was sham fucking bollock. Leeds fans, you deserve the point. You deserve that point you gained, because I tell you what, you came to Old Trafford and outplayed us, and I tell you what, it was the correct decision to sack Jesse Marsch, because I tell you what, he was holding you back. Bloody hell. Leeds look like a different kettle of fish. As soon as Jesse Marsch is gone, Leeds came out and played. They came out and played. They basically stormed to Old Trafford and thought, right, new manager bounce, Jesse Marsch is gone. Let's show the interim manager what we've got. Because I tell you what, they played fucking well tonight, and they outplayed a very good Manchester United team. They outplayed Manchester United tonight. Those Man United players, there's no excuses from your side of the performance. And if I was them, I'd be walking into that Leeds dressing room and giving them the players the credit they deserve. Because I tell you what, that Man United team showed up tonight. That team showed They can't go till May playing like this. They can't. They can't go till May because it's simply not going to work. This plan of this squad is good enough till May, it's going to backfire and it's going to crash and burn right in front of your own very eyes to say, basically, the manager of Man United has been fed to the wolves again. They did this with Moyes. They did it with Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer and Rangnick. The owners have done it to Erik ten Hag. They've writ off this season expecting ten Hag to get through the Europa League, FA Cup, Premier League and the Carabao Cup final. If that all goes wrong in the next few weeks, we're going to be sat as a fan base thinking, where the fuck did this go wrong? Well, you know where it's gone wrong. There's not enough pressure on the owners. We should be forcing them out. There needs to be more protest. This fan base, these supporters of this great club, because you're all the best fans in the world and you deserve a lot of credit for getting your voice heard, need to do more. Because I tell you, if they're not gone in May and the summer transfer window opens and there's no new owners, could you just imagine now what it's going to be like then, what it's like now? Because if the now becomes then, we are fucked. We're screwed. We've then got no recruitment, no prime transfer targets. And I tell you what, if we miss out on top four, let it happen. Embarrass those players. Embarrass that team. Call out the owners. Call out the board. And I'll tell you what, some of those players need to come out and fucking apologise for tonight. So I feel sorry for that 75,000 capacity crowd having to watch their favourites to beat Leeds tonight go 2-0 down at home. Basically, the plan went out from the minute go. As soon as we went 1-0 down, there was no plan because they didn't listen. The players have basically gone behind Erik ten Hag's back and basically done their own thing to try and get the game back in their swerve. 2-2, we should have went on to win the game. But unfortunately, there's no options left from that bench to bring on. And we were bringing Lindelof and Malacia on. That's our options. There's no bench. All our best players are in the starting 11 because we haven't got fucking anything. We've run out of squad depth. Ten Hag has run out of players. And it's so clueless why this is going wrong. Down to the board, down to the owners. This football club is in a fucking mess again. You could have beat Leeds, but you decided not to. Basically, Ten Hag, if I was Ten Hag, I would be fucking fuming with those players. And I'll tell you what, like that from the first minute, what the fuck is going on? 1-0 down within 28 seconds. What the fuck did you not listen? Those players are not listening to the manager. They are down tooling. They're doing the same shit which they did to Solskjaer, getting away with every fucking excuse they could get away with. I'm the big I am. I'm the big Man United player. I'm the best one here. I'm going to do it my way or the highway. I don't give a shit. Those players do not play as a team. It's all about individual ego to improve their morale, improve their performance and get other clubs across the globe noticing for the summer transfer window. Because I'll tell you what, I would sell half those players in a fucking heartbeat, starting with Fred. 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. What a fucking waste of money. Absolutely crap. No wonder Brazil went out the World Cup because as soon as Fred came on, it all went wrong and went out on penalties. Luke Shaw has not been the same player for nearly 5 to 6 years when he broke his leg in 2 places, right? And we're still using him. And he's not been the same player since. Can't threaten the opposition back four. Can't put a decent ball or cross into the box. Is awful at corners. And basically can't keep up with the Leeds attacking threat. There is Luke Shaw. Diego Dalot, right? Injury-prone right back is meant to be better than Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is no improvement of him. Because Diego Dalot, they're both equally as shit as each other. And I'm sorry, Diego Dalot ain't the answer at right back. If that's the plan for Dalot to be the long-term right back, we're in trouble. And do you know why Ten Hag wanted a right back last summer in 2022? Because he realises Dalot is shit and injury-prone and basically knows deep down Wan-Bissaka's as bad as him. So what's Ten Hag meant to do? So that's 3 players alone, right? Mctominay is still out injured, apparently. For me, that's a load of bollocks. Mctominay is not injured. Mctominay is not out through injury. He's not out with illness. And I'm telling you now, there has been a bust-up that has been kept behind closed doors for Scott McTominay not to be at the club, not being featured in the manager's plans. Ten Hag has had enough. And you can see fucking why he's had enough. I think certain players have been told, you're not being here in the summer. You can get out my office if you think you'll be part in the first team. I don't blame Eric Ten Hag for doing that, by the way, because it does need calling out. And I think Scott McTominay has thrown his toys out the pram and basically said, well, do you know what? If you don't want to use me, just make up of an excuse not to include me in the first team. Basically, McTominay has thrown his toys out of his pram like a crying little baby because he doesn't like it that his shit, awful performances have been called out by a better manager that actually has tactics. What do you want, Scott McTominay? You still want Solskjaer to be here to give you a cuddle and give you a bottle of milk and a blanket and sing you a bedtime story. That is the players I do not like at this club. Players like Scott McTominay being a selfish little brat to basically say, well, you're using Fred ahead of me, you're using Fernandes ahead of me, and Sabitzer, and Casemiro, and Eriksen, and Van der Beek. Well, yeah, because they're better than you, mate. You're never good enough. Oh, let's praise these are players that have come through the academy. Look how well they have shone in the first team. Look how well they've done. Look at the goals and the assists and the contributions they've made. Scott McTominay has offered fuck all since the first appearance. Has done fuck all. And is still out injured. More like being covered up for his sorry brat little attitude. I'm sorry. If he is out injured, get fucking rid of him in the summer. Because he's another one who ain't fucking good enough. We then move on to that awful attack. Garnacho looks like a completely different player. Has gone back to being a B-Tech Marcus Rashford. Shit. Weghorst has been nothing more than a joke. And you're basically relying on Rashford and Sancho to get you through the line because we've got no other right winger. We've got no other left winger. We've got no other striker. And basically, when you've lost Anthony to injury and Anthony Martial and a Threlanga, why didn't we sell him and get another striker in January? What was the point? We should have sold Elanga and McTominay and Maguire and Lindelof. Those players should have been sold in January and replacements should have been brought. Some of the summer transfer business could have been done in January. We can't keep waiting to go, summer will spend loads, January won't do anything. Summer will spend loads, January won't do anything. You've got to spend in both transfer windows. Why do you think we have a January transfer window? That is for clubs to sign new players. Man United is their philosophy. Well, we spent over 200 million in 2022 in the summer transfer window. What are the Man United fans moaning at? What are you complaining at? Well, the squad's on its knees. The squad depth is awful. We've got fatigue. We've got injuries. And we've basically lost our best CDM in Casemiro. And in my opinion, the best CDM we've actually ever had. And basically, we're stuck with Fred. That's the plan. Can you imagine Fred and Weghorst against Barcelona? Could you imagine how bad that's going to be? At home and away at the Nou Camp. Because we only got to play Barcelona next week. And then in 2 weeks' time after, we've got to play them at home. I'm sure we can go to the Nou Camp and absolutely batter them. Oh, I forgot. Barcelona are only still top of the Liga and are absolutely destroying and ripping up the division with Lewandowski and co. That's the plan. We've got no squad. I don't recognise any of these players anymore. I don't recognise 2 or 3 good players, and that's all we've got because the rest of them are just they're bang average League 2 players at best. I mean, Fred, I would think he's a League 2 player. McTominay's at best at League 2. Elanga shouldn't be here. Maguire, Lindelof, Bailly, Tellez, Delo, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Malacia, Elanga. I'm not being funny. I think, in my opinion, we've only got 8 or 9 decent players, and that's De Gea, Lissandro Martinez, Varane, Eriksen, Fernandes, Van der Beek, Sabitzer, Rashford, Sancho, and Anthony. I think we've only got 10 decent players. The rest of them, I wouldn't trust this lot to organise a party for a school. I wouldn't let these players run an egg and spoon race. I wouldn't let this squad go out on a college trip. Because I tell you what, the college trip and the school trip would be absolutely shambles and going to some shitty factory to see how eggs are produced. That's how Man United were tonight. They were scrambled. They were absolutely scrambled eggs. They were gone off eggs. That is how bad we were tonight. We scrambled to try and find options to fill that bench. And to sign Jack Butland, who's not been given a game yet, pointless signing from Palace on loan, probably stupid fucking loan fee to get him here. Backup third choice goalkeeper to Tom Heaton. De Gea doesn't get a game. What was the point? What was the point? We're signing players just to make up numbers. And I'm sorry, we should have gone nowhere near Jack Butland because I feel sorry for him. It's not his fault. That is down to Manchester United yet again. A club he's come to expecting to get first team football. Ain't going to happen, mate, because you're not getting out of De Gea's place. And as for Tom Heaton, mate, don't worry, you're better than Tom Heaton, Jack Butland, just pinpointing it quite now. You're better than him. And I can't believe, right, there are so many pundits on certain TalkSport, BT Sport and Sky. Why are you slating Tom Heaton? Why are you slating him? He's kept 2 clean sheets. Why are you slating him for? Well, let me tell you why. He should be nowhere near between the sticks in our goal. Basically, a friend of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. We brought him back to the club on a free transfer that should have never happened. He's not ever going to be good enough. He's over 30 years of age. He is a backup to Jack Butland. Should be nowhere near a first-team selection. And basically is a second-half backup player at a Bournemouth team at best in goal. But at Man United, it's jobs for the boys. It's mates rates. Let's all be friends. Let's all be mates. Let's get the campfire flowing. Let's get the marshmallows out. Let's get a sing-song going. Let's all be mates. Let's all be friends and basically all get on. No fighting, no arguing. No, do you know what I mean? That is the standard of our club. There is no aggression on and off the pitch. There is no brutalness. There is no honesty. And basically, those players, yet again, have shown to you tonight against Leeds, if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. Because if you can't beat Leeds at home, that says a lot. That says about where we are compared to them. We're actually trying to win trophies. We're trying to get top 4. We're trying to get Champions League football. Leeds look like us. Leeds basically transformed into the team we should be. They went for the juggler. They go 1-0 within 28 seconds. They then get the second goal in the second half to make it 2-0. United make it 2-1. They make it 2-2. Leeds bottled it, right? We should have gone for the third goal. We didn't take the chances. And the more chances we don't take, more results like this against teams like Leeds are going to happen on and off the pitch. And tonight, again, there is simply no positive for me than more than just the comeback. I can't give any more positive from tonight. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't trust that team. I just can't trust it. It's just being honest. Like, I'm an honest Man United fan. Everyone's views and opinions are always respected. So please subscribe to the channel if you are new to United Red Devils 20. I just can't stand the excuses and the pathetic egos this club seems to come up with. Like, if you can't beat Leeds, that basically shows that we're night and day between both clubs. One team's trying to survive, one team's trying to win a title, win a trophy, and be back in the Champions League, where we actually do belong, in my opinion, because other teams this season have basically bottled their league form, right? At Man United, it's, do you know what? We're doing things by the book. We're not going to spend money in January. We're not going to back the manager. We're not going to give him the players he wants. He wants more money when we spent loads in the summer. Well, apparently, Erik ten Hag basically only got given 120 million last summer to improve that team and basically knew it wasn't enough. If we didn't have Eriksen and Casemiro and Antony, God forbid where this team would be now, because tonight, that shows where we are. Without them, and without a proper goal-scoring striker and a decent back four, we've basically not improved the back four, we've not improved the midfield, and we've not improved the attack. You take half those players out of that club, we basically become a joke on wheels. We basically become the circus we were under Solskjaer and Rangnick. Players thinking they're better than everyone else, basically shitting on the fans and the supporters yet again, and basically saying, well, we can't keep this momentum up. We're tired. The training's brutal. Yeah, because you got away with 2 shitty seasons 2 years ago under Solskjaer and Rangnick, where we saw the worst Manchester United side in Premier League football history, basically saying that you aren't good enough as players. You need to be calling out and you need to be given the rocket you deserve because you got 2 managers dismissed in Rangnick and Solskjaer. And you know what? In deep down thought now, I feel sorry for them because I tell you what, Ralph Rangnick should still be here at this club, working alongside Erik ten Hag to help rebuild this football club. Was dismissed by the board and the owners when he claimed open heart surgery was needed on this team. Give Ralph Rangnick a gold star. Was absolutely pinpoint, bang on correct. This team needs open heart surgery, not with just this squad, with these players. Some of the coaching staff need to go. The stadium, we need a brand new stadium. We need a new training facility. We need world-class stuff behind the scenes. We need brand new owners. But that is the pinpoint interest is for me is that team needs to shift 10 or 15 players out, and 10 or 15 need bringing in. That is how we're going to improve and get goals where we want to be. If we are to improve, we've got to get the players we need. They should have got Frankie de Jong. They should have got Jurgen Timber. They should have got Darwin Núñez, and they should have got Gakpo, and they should have got the right back. If you would have added all them, plus the Sandro Martinez, Anthony, Malacia, Dubravka, Butland, Weghorst, and Sabitzer, this team would probably be sat top of the league. If we wouldn't have bottled the first two games of the Premier League season against Brighton and Brentford, when we got absolutely shown up to how shit we actually were, we would have probably had been 6 points better off, clearer of Chelsea and Liverpool, because that is drop points. There's no excuses. We have dropped the points where we should have got them. And unfortunately for this club, we are seeing that when we can't be trusted to produce over 90 minutes and you're 2-0 down at home, that for me is a little bit fucking worrying, because if the players are doing the same shit what they did under Solskjaer and Rangnick, as a Man United fan and supporter, I would start fucking panicking right about now. Because if the same shit happened what happened under Rangnick and Solskjaer, and Ten Hag is shown the door, what happens then? What happens then to the new owners? Because we need taking over. This club needs to be sold. The Glazers need to piss off and leave, because they've been nothing more than the Hades of this football club. They've been nothing more than the Hades of the Hercules film. They've been the evil villain here. And they've ran this club into the ground and basically rinsed the club dry of any profitability. The debt is increasing, and the club and the squad's on its knees because Ten Hag hasn't got the options and he hasn't got the squad he needs. And I dread how we're going to put a team out against Leeds, and I dread how we're going to put a team out against Barcelona, because we need Eriksen back, we need Van der Beek back, we need Martial back. We need these players to start stepping up with the recovery, and it needs to be quick. Because I think this season, in my opinion, is going to crash and burn in our eyes very, very quickly. And this season is going to come to a complete halt. Because I'm not being funny. I don't fancy our Carabao Cup final chances now. Newcastle are a decent team. They've got a decent players and they've got a decent manager coaching them. Eddie Howe has worked miracles at Newcastle, and he deserves his credit. He deserves as Newcastle United manager. He's been allowed to bring in the players he needs and improve that current Newcastle squad, because that United team, if we're looking at it from the bigger point, that if we lose any more players through fatigue or injury or suspension, we are between a rock and a hard place, and we're basically up the creek without a paddle. And I worry long term that if this carries on, where do we go? Where do we improve, and where do we get the opportunity to improve this current team? Because this is drop points tonight. There is no excuses from Man United side. They bottled it. They dropped points, and they should have beat Leeds. But we hear where we are today. And I think for me, we need to move on now. We've got Leeds away on Sunday afternoon, which is now becomes a fucking pivotal must-win game, because we can't afford any more drop points, because we've only got to play Barcelona after that. I mean, where could that go wrong? Well, get me a pen and paper and I'll actually tell you where that will go wrong. But yeah, we're sat here with a point. It's not the win we wanted. It's not the 3 points we wanted either. But I think the FA have cost Man United. I think the Casemiro red card was never a red card, and the decision should have been rescinded. And Casemiro should have been available for tonight. But that's the FA. They favour the smaller little teams because they want to see the smaller, bigger teams achieve more than the bigger clubs. And people don't like it, Man United getting back to top. Well, do you know what? If you don't like it, jog off. If you don't like Man United improving and getting back to the best, then that shows you how much of a football fan you actually are. So I think man of the match tonight goes to Sabitzer, because I think he was Man United's best player. There's nothing more to say than that. So I hope you enjoyed the match reaction. Remember to hit the like button, share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, that is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you're new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to put that notification bell at all times as well to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. We've got more Fortnite content coming. Disney Dreamlight Valley, Football Manager, FIFA 23 Career Mode, the new SpongeBob game. We'll do the new F1 game, Hogwarts Legacy we are going to get, depending on how good the gameplay is. We are also now on TikTok. So please go and check out my TikTok on United Red Devils 20. We are now on TikTok as well, so go and check us out as well. But obviously, please subscribe mainly to the channel and the community on YouTube. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. You're all amazing in the community. You're all an amazing part of the family, and become part of something great to help you improve your channels in the future. Become part of something great that you're all going to enjoy. And obviously, yeah, please subscribe to the channel. Obviously, then please join me for the preview tomorrow evening. We're going to be doing the Leeds versus Manchester United Premier League match preview for the away game away against Leeds United on Sunday afternoon, which is match day 23 of the Premier League season, because yeah, we need to pick up points now. We need to beat Leeds on Sunday. So please join me for the preview tomorrow evening, because I'm out all day tomorrow. So obviously I'll be doing the preview for the Leeds United game and Manchester United on tomorrow evening. Please join me for that on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're new, go and check us out on TikTok as well. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. I'm sorry that Man United yet again has basically bottled it, but what's Ten Hag meant to do with that squad? What's he meant to do with that players? And the FA have cost us without having Casemiro. So I think the FA have got a lot to answer for as well, because that Casemiro red card against Palace was not a red card. It was just a complete and utter joke of a decision made by the referee and VAR, especially when the Palace players started it on Anthony. So we're going to leave it there. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. You're all amazing. Please keep subscribing to the channel if you're new, and go and check us out on TikTok. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. Join me tomorrow evening. Thanks for watching.